Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about today's video. We are doing a full review, full face, demo, application, and having a chat about Victoria Beckham Beauty. I ordered this package a few weeks ago, and as a whole I was so impressed with not only the beautiful aesthetic of this line, but the quality of the products in this line. So I didn't think anything was a dud. Instantly, when I started unboxing the products, I was like, I want to film the products before I even use them because I really wanted you to get to have the experience as well. The products are so beautiful when you first take them out of the package. The components are absolutely stunning. Artwork, I mean, they're gorgeous. And then on a lot of the cream products, you actually have almost like a hot stamp of the VB logo on those cream products, and I just think it's like such a wonderful experience when you first get to open these Victoria Beckham products, and I really wanted you to be able to experience it as well. So I hope you enjoy seeing all those little fun, you know, beautiful shots of what these products look like before you even use them. We've got a lot to talk about, clearly, so let's just get into it. So the first product I'm going to start off with is, this is the Cell Rejuvenating Priming Moisturizer. This is an illuminating primer. Mine's in the shade Golden. Now the really exciting thing about this primer is that she did develop it with Augustinus Bader, and that's kind of a big deal if you are into skincare, because Augustinus Bader, the skincare is very luxurious, it's prestigious, it gets rave reviews, and also has almost like a cult-like following for his skincare products. So this priming serum actually has a lot of skincare benefits in it as well, and I'm hoping you can really tell on camera. I'm going to do about 2 pumps, but even though this is a primer, it does a good job at blurring my imperfections on my skin, and also not giving me, you know, coverage, but I do get the illusion of a little something. If you didn't have any hyperpigmentation like me, I feel like you could easily get away with wearing this on its own and just some spot concealer and the rest of your makeup routine. But it lays beautifully underneath makeup. Now the primer itself actually feels very beautiful, lightweight, and really nice and moisturizing on the skin. I also really like the feeling of it. It feels slightly dewy and tacky to the touch, so if it's worn on its own, it just feels like another layer of skincare, or when you put makeup on top of it, it does have that nice ability to kind of grip to your makeup. And I like these types of primers. They are my absolute favorite because I feel like they make your skin look better and make whatever you put on top of it lay down so much nicer and apply so much smoother. So I think this is absolutely beautiful. It's not too gold, it's not too pearly, it's just like the right amount of sheen on the skin. Within the Victoria Beckham Beauty line, there aren't any base coverage products, so I'm just gonna pop in with my Chanel Water Fresh Tint. Just a pump of that. I'm going to apply that right on top of the primer. This type of base product underneath a primer like this is perfect because it's still going to be able to have, you know, a little bit of my skin peek through, or the illuminator, so that it just gives the Chanel Water Fresh Tint a little bit more of a dewy glow. I also need a little bit of extra help with that post-acne hyperpigmentation, so I'm just gonna pop some of the Chantecaille Future Skin on the areas where I need extra coverage, just to help disguise those. And I'm just using my fingertip so the product kind of, you know, melts in. It's a little bit more lightweight than a concealer. Looks a little bit more realistic and not, you know, like a spot concealing job. It just kind of, it just melts into your skin. I've raved about the Chantecaille Future Skin so many times, but it's just such a beautiful product. You can see I'm not even wearing it as foundation today. I'm just wearing it as more of like a spot product, and it is blending in seamlessly. Okay, so just to like brighten up the base and conceal, I'm gonna use this one from Lawless, the Conceal the Deal Concealer. I really like how nice and lightweight this one is. It doesn't look too heavy, and it just gives me a really nice brightened effect, and I also don't need to use powder when I use this one. So I actually think I really want to start with the eyes, and then we'll move into the face because I just have one eyeshadow product. She does have some eyeliners. However, I didn't end up purchasing those because I just have so many eyeliners and I didn't really think I needed any of those. And then I also didn't get the eyeshadow palettes. I just wanted to get a single shadow. You know how I feel about eyeshadow palettes. I feel like I already have so many. Starting with the powder, I'm going to take a little bit of this lighter shade of the two, and I'm going to just run that right into the crease of my eye just to add a little bit of definition before we start blending out the shadows. So the shadow we'll be using today is the Victoria Beckham Crystal Infused Lid Luster. This one's in the shade Mink. This is a stunning potted shadow, ultra reflective and super high shine, and just so gorgeous, like the perfect kind of like smoky, sultry eyeshadow. Now this shadow in particular is really special because when it's put on top of an eyeliner, it is instantaneously so much more intense and so much more multi-dimensional than it already is. So you can really create a very special one shadow look using just this and an eyeliner. So I'm gonna take the Hourglass Obsidian liner and I'm literally just going to smudge and smear this liner right into the top lash line. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, but don't go too crazy. Don't go super far outside of your natural lash line. You just want to make it look thicker. You're going to take a little smudge brush while that eyeliner is still tacky. Try to be somewhat quick because you don't have all the playtime in the world. So get in there and start smudging and just creating a little bit more of a diffused line. Then on your fingertip, just tapping into Mink and picking up some of the shadow like this. We're gonna layer this because you don't want to go in with too much at once. I'm just gonna start tapping and pressing this onto the eye area. Now the nice thing about these shadows is there is very minimal to no fallout at all. They're quite like sticky and emollient, so if you use your fingertip to do the initial lay down of the product, there's very, very, very slight fallout. And then I'll just take my blending brush and then I'm also going to smudge just a touch of Mink on the lower lash line as well. And I feel like you can really see it's such a nice multi-dimensional eye look. I really like that there are these little single potted shadows. Just in case you're someone like me who's not interested in a palette, you can still create such a beautiful look with just one shadow. So next I'm gonna move into a product that I'm the most excited about. So this is the Victoria Beckham Warm and Contour Bronzer. This is honestly the most stunning compact I have in my collection. I'm just obsessed with this. So my compact is in shade number 4. And we have Amber, which is this lighter one, and then Sunset, which is the darker one. So I'm gonna start off with the lighter shade. This is a really beautiful, ultra pigmented powder bronzer. It's also not completely matte, which I really prefer because I just feel like I have an easier time blending this into the skin and getting it to look a lot more natural. They've also got such a beautiful amount of warmth to them. So especially for the summertime, it's really gonna give you that, you know, cute like sun-kissed look. And then I'll use the darker shade to do a little bit of contouring. So for the darker shade, I'll do just a light natural contour right under my cheekbones just to accentuate those a bit. These are, like I said, extremely pigmented, so when you're doing the contour or the bronze, you are just lightly tapping into them because you will have a difficult time blending them out if you use too much. You just want to use a little bit, blend it out with something nice and fluffy, take a brush and lightly blend those two tones of bronzer perfectly together so that there's no stark lines of any of them. But okay, but seriously, like, look at this bronzer. It's amazing. The tone and like the undertone of the product itself is so perfect. It is such a beautiful shade of bronze. So now we're gonna do the blush. This is the Cheeky Posh blush in the shade Playground. And I picked this one because I thought it was such a gorgeous, almost like muted coral undertoned nude. It's got a really pretty like warmth to it that I thought was unique. So this is not super dewy on the cheeks, but it's also not completely matte. I really like the formula of this brush specifically because it's a little bit less sticky than a typical dewy blush. So I always, you know, apply it to the back of my hand like this, and I'm gonna pick it up on my blush brush that way, although you can use it directly on the face. But I just think you get a little bit more of a pretty application if you pick it up on a brush like you do your powder products. You get a little bit more precision and not quite as much lifting than if you were to directly swipe it to the skin. So just using the back of your hand as a palette is a really fabulous way to get the product onto your face without streakiness. Now, I will say the formula of this is also really nice because you can wear it as a lipstick, and I actually really, really love the shade Playground as a lipstick. I think it makes such a stunning shade on the lips and the cheeks. So if you wanted a 2-for-1, well, obviously you can also wear, you know, lipstick as a blush, but I really like this shade specifically on the cheeks and the lips. So look at that blush, gorgeous. I'll show you what it looks like on the lips. Really fleshy, super pretty shade. Okay, next we're gonna talk about the Charlotte Tilbury Reflect Highlights. This one's in the shade Pearl. Stunning component. This one's different than the rest of them. Instead of the tortoise, you have this gorgeous fluted gold. I just think this looks so beautiful, and the highlight is stunning as well. So this one has a soft pearl to it. It is quite dewy, and I'm doing the same thing. I really like to apply it to the back of my hand first, just so I can get that product nice and melted down. And then I'm just gonna pick it up on the other side of my blush brush and just lightly tap that right onto the high points of the face. And I feel like this looks like Victoria Beckham's highlight that she's always wearing. She's always got this like glassy, slightly sheeny highlight, and I feel like obviously she probably does wear the product of her namesake, but it to me that looks like Victoria Beckham's highlight that she always has on the top of her cheekbone. And we're gonna use Future Lash. Now this is a small-eyed, wait, this is actually the Bitten Lip Tint, whoopsie. This is Future Lash, so we're gonna use Future Lash. Now this is such a wonderful mascara for anybody with smaller eyes. You can see this tiny brush in comparison to my eye. It's like such a nice size and a very wonderful formula. So it just gives you like clean, slightly wispiness. It's also quite curling, so when it's on the top lashes, I really like the effect that it has. But it just has this really nice, slim, petite, curved brush that I really enjoy. And I think it makes application really easy as well, because I think the brush is so great. I haven't used a mascara wand this tiny in quite some time. And it just makes the lash, you know, like the mascara application so much nicer. You know, that's like a couple coats. I still think it looks really nice and natural. And obviously you can build upon, you know, each coat if that's what you want, but I think I just did 3. I have a lip definer in number 2. I got this because it's Victoria's personal shade, so I was like, I want that color. Lip liner itself is super creamy. I find it to be quite long lasting. It's not even advertised as a long lasting lip pencil, but it's got a little bit of a drier formula, so although it's not, you know, eat proof and drink proof, it withstands normal wear a little bit longer than some other lip liners. So first lip color I will show you is obviously going to be Spice, and I feel like you already know why I got the shade Spice. And this is supposed to be like Victoria's favorite lip combo, is actually lip pencil number 2 with the Spice lipstick. So it's like Victoria's Perfect Nude. I love the formula of this lipstick. First swipe, not fully opaque, but got some good opacity to it, so you can still wear it sheared out, which is, you know, how I typically always like to wear my lip products. Or you can build it up to something a little bit more opaque. I think this is just like such a perfect nude lip color. I like that the lipstick itself is nice and slim. It's kind of like that little, you know, like French cigarette style lipstick, which I really like. And I just think that this shade specifically is so pretty. So then I have the Posh Gloss. Now I got it in the shade Tan Line, which is quite a sheer milky brown, almost kind of like a taupe. And this looks really pretty on its own, but it also looks really nice on top of the lipstick. So I'll show you these paired together, because you can see it's practically, like, it's not practically clear, but it's quite a sheer opacity. So it pairs really nice with whatever you put it on top of. You can even pair this gloss on top of darker lipsticks, and I think it looks really nice because it just kind of mutes them down a bit, like makes them look a little bit more milky. And are you seeing how insanely shiny this is? Like, look at this lip combo. Liner, this lipstick, this gloss. I feel like this is such a Victoria Beckham lip. Like, I feel like the thing that I'm like loving about all of this makeup specifically is, like, I feel like it is very true to her makeup style and the tones that she actually wears, which is iconic. But I mean, I just feel like this lip specifically is so Victoria Beckham. In my opinion, this is the best lip product though. I bought one and had to buy the other two because I liked the first one so much. I really love these and cannot recommend them enough. So these are the Victoria Beckham Bitten Lip Tints. I have 3 shades here. I have Bisou, Amore, and Cherie. I'm not French. But they're so good. They're like semi-translucent tints. This one is Bisou, which is like this black currant sheer color. So there's Bisou on the back of the hand. Like, they're so good. Okay, and then this is Amore, which is the nude, and I love this one. This was the first one I got. Really just makes your lips look so much better. So there it is on the back of the hand. This shade specifically will just turn your lips into like pouty, smooth. It just is almost like makeup. Like, okay, so I want to say this in the way that makes sense, because obviously lipstick is makeup for your lips, but I am saying this shade Amore is like a tinted moisturizer for your lips, where it makes your lips look really hydrated, perfected, smoothed out, gives them a slight amount of coverage. Just really such a stunning shade. And then this one is Cherie. So you can see they are all just these like beautiful, gorgeous light washes of tint on the lips. They have this nice gel sit down on the mouth, so they just feel really comfortable, really hydrating. And then I didn't let them sink for very long, like it's only been a couple seconds, and you can see they've already started leaving a tint. I'll show you this one first. Really nice, gorgeous, elongated doe foot applicator, and I feel like once I put this on, you'll see what I mean when I say it's like a makeup for your lips. It's like base coverage that you put on your face, but for your lips. Really kind of gives you that like no makeup look. It just looks like your lips are that perfect. So this is Cherie, and I would say this is my second favorite. I mean, and that's honestly hard to say because I love them all. But if I had to rank them, I would say this one would be second favorite. And you can see I've been wiping it off, but my lips are already tinted from it. And then we'll do Bisou. If you don't like lip products, like you don't like to feel like you're wearing something on your lips, you will absolutely adore these, because they don't even really like feel like anything, but you get such an amazing tint and just like a little bit of gloss on the lips. Moving into the review, let's start off with the products as close to order of application. So first up we have the Priming Cell Rejuvenating Moisturizer. So this is really unique because, as I mentioned in the application portion of the video, it does feel really moisturizing, and it's crazy because this has almost like a serum like formula to it, so it feels really lightweight and quite gel-like, but once it's been absorbed into your skin, you do have a noticeable lingering feeling of moisture in the skin. Like you feel like you put on a rich cream. I'm telling you, like, I know that sounds wild, because especially when you look at this and you're using such a small amount of product, if you have dry skin, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say that when you use something like this that's, not what you're expecting to give you the sensation of a rich cream. It's really special, and I like this because it makes my skin feel really prepped and ready to go for makeup application. Now, as I also mentioned, I do think that if you have a particularly good skin complexion day where you don't have a lot of active breakouts or visible hyperpigmentation, this, that, and the other, this would be so beautiful just on its own with a little bit of spot concealer, and then perhaps like, you know, your blush and bronzer on top and all that, but it still does give your skin that little bit of something special. Next up, we're going to talk about the bronzing powder. So not only is this compact just visually stunning, this is a very mindfully made makeup product in my opinion. So Victoria gave you 2 bronzing shades. And I feel like for years, this has been what I have always preached to you guys. Use 2 bronzers. Use 2 different tones so that you get a multi-dimensional bronze look. And she gave that to you in this. And I think that that is just so mindfully made, in my opinion. So, and also not only that, the 2 tones of bronzer themselves are differentiated really apparently on the skin. Like, they don't look the same. You get 2 different effects from both of these bronzers. It is just so perfect. But like using 2 bronzers, one for adding slight contour and shading into the skin, and then using one for an all-over bronze and warmth, is really what takes your makeup look to that next level and really just kind of creates more of an illusion. It makes your makeup look more luxurious on the skin. It really fools the eye into thinking like there's, you know, tan and different shades in the skin, and I just think it just takes your makeup to that next level. It makes it look a little bit more professional, and I really, really like this, and I like that you have the 2 powders as well. Moving on to the highlights. So this is the Reflect Highlight in Pearl. I love this stunning fluted package. I like how this is like a little Easter egg in the collection because it has different componentry than the rest. I like that little white top as well. Now the Reflect Highlight is stunning. It's very dewy and sheeny looking on the skin, and as I mentioned, I really do feel like it looks like Victoria Beckham's like signature slightly sheeny highlight on the cheeks. If anything, it honestly reminds me quite the most of the Chanel stick highlights. I would say that this one though is maybe going to be a little bit more universally liked because I don't find it to be quite as sticky and balmy as the Chanel highlight. Now I love the Chanel highlight, don't get me wrong, but that one is noticeably more oily, if you will. So if you want a nice stick highlight that still gives you that kind of like wet, glassy shine on the skin, this might be something that I think more people will prefer. Perhaps a little bit more universally liked, in my opinion. I just don't find it to be as greasy as the Chanel one. So definitely worth checking out, and it's a very, you know, pretty universal light pearl shade. Can be built up if you want a little bit more intensity, or you can really sheer it out and just get that nice like soft glaze of pearl over the skin. Next you have the Cheeky Posh blush stick in the shade Playground. I love how in the line she did quite a few tip of the hat names to Spice Girls and Posh, so I just think that's really exciting. I loved it. So Playground, beautiful. This is a cream blush that is really good in my opinion. I'm pretty picky about cream blushes. I find like sometimes they leave the skin looking splotchy, sometimes they're way too dewy, sometimes I feel like the more you build them up, if the formula of the blush itself is quite greasy, it just looks bad on my face. This blush itself, you can see I didn't use any setting powder or anything on my cheeks. I have the blush on the apple of my cheeks. It doesn't look greasy, and it also just, it looks good. And it doesn't get greasier the longer that you wear it, which is what I really like about it. I find if you have more of a dry skin type, this is gonna be like a satin, like little bit dewy blush on your cheeks. If you're oily, I'm sorry, I can't speak to that, but I don't find this to be a greasy blush at all. I loved wearing it on my lips. There were a couple days where I didn't feel like doing much makeup. Actually, not a couple, a handful of days, like more than 5 days when I was using this. I was putting this on eyes, cheeks, and lips, and I thought it looked really nice. Playground is a versatile enough shade that you can wear it on multiple sections of the face and it still looks good. So really great for people that want sort of a one and done type of product. And because of that formula, it performs beautifully as a lipstick as well. So it's a good cream blush. Moving into eye products, so we have the Lid Luster Crystal Infused Shadow. This is really similar to if you have ever used those little Marc Jacobs potted shadows, quite similar to the Hourglass potted shadows, the L'Oreal potted shadows. Like, it has a very similar formula to that type of product, so you do want to keep your little stopper because that helps the product from drying out. These are really emollient and quite oily of an eyeshadow, so don't toss this. Always use this to keep the shadow in place. Now, Mink is something special. On the Victoria Beckham website, you can see swatches of each of these shadows on skin, and I thought Mink had the most, just look at that. So I really did an exaggerated swatch, but as you can see, it reminds me of that blue-brown pigment from MAC, where in certain lights you get that brown, and then in certain lights you see like a flash of like blue taupe. So really unique, definitely a shade worth checking out if you are a one and done shadow type of person, because with this shade specifically you can get a multi-dimensional look. Like you saw me, I have a little bit of bronzer in the crease, but it does blend out and sheer out if you're just wearing a little bit to more of a brown. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's a good versatile shade to wear. I feel like this is something that you would wear perhaps more frequently than a palette. She does have little eyeshadow bricks as well, which I will try in the future. Now, the mascara is also something that I'm gonna say I'm completely impressed by, and I really, really like this. So the Future Lash Mascara, first thing I wanna say, I've tested out, and in multiple weather conditions, it's only had my lashes go straight one time. It was a really humid day, so there was obviously a lot of water in the air, and my lashes uncurled. Now, as many of you know, my lashes go straight and downward, and I pretty much exclusively wear waterproof mascara. There are like 3 non-waterproof mascaras that can actually hold a curl in my lash, and this is one of them. Like, I am so genuinely impressed by this mascara. First of all, the brush is beautiful. If you have a smaller eye type, like, this just makes applying mascara so much easier. The wiper at the opening of the mascara tube completely cleans this mascara wand off. Pristine, perfect. You are never going to have product sitting in the dip of that mascara wand. The wand itself is never overloaded. This is just such a perfectly made mascara wand, tube, and wiper. Just clean, consistent amounts of mascara on the wand every single time. The mascara itself is beautiful, and I cannot tell you, I cannot actually tell you this. Like, it is so nice for me to be able to wear mascara where at the end of every day, I can just wash my eye makeup off with water and soap. I don't have to do, you know, the eye makeup remover on the cotton pads. I don't have to spend extra time doing cleansing balm, because waterproof mascara is really difficult to take off at the end of the night. It has been so nice to just wear this mascara and still get a curl held in my lashes and just, you know, like a nice perked up lash look. I'm sorry, my eye is itching, so I'll BRB. I have not had a single day where I've had an issue with it causing smudging underneath my lashes or on the top of my brow area, which even sometimes waterproof mascaras do. I'll have issues with like mascaras turning black up here, and I have not had a single negative thing to say about this mascara. The Victoria Beckham lip liner. So this is in the shade number 2. I love the shade, I love the formula. It is not a long wear lip pencil, so if you're loyal to long wear lip formulas and that's something that's really important to you, it's probably not going to be for you. I will say that the formula is slightly drier. It's still creamy to the point that there's no tugging or irritation when you're applying the lip liner itself. But it's just not the most long lasting, but it lasts longer than some other lip liners that are not long wearing formulas. Now, I really like the shade of number 2. It's, you know, a luxury lip liner though, so whether or not you want to splurge on it is totally up to you. I like this. I like it, but some people don't want to splurge on lip liners. NYX Nude Truffle is just as good in my opinion. This is a really stunning lip liner though. So then we also have the lipstick in Spice, and I had to get this because it's in the shade Spice, and obviously for obvious reasons we had to get that one. But yeah, I love this little packaging. I feel like the bullet itself is really nice and slim. I love the shade of this. It's creamy. It's definitely like my vibe when it comes to lip gloss. It's got a really nice sheeny shine finish, not fully opaque upon the first swipe. You still get like a little bit of skin peeking out behind it. So I just like that that's a little bit more of a fresh take on a lip color. This is a Daisy shade. I mean, come on, like these are Daisy shades. So yeah, I love the lipstick as well. Now we also have the Posh Gloss. So this is in the shade Tan Line. I really like the shade of this. I love milky, kind of like bone, cool toned nudes that are, you know, semi-transparent and not fully opaque, because to me, the perfect lip gloss is milky. It's really shiny and wet looking on the lips, but it's also not opaque. I really don't love an opaque gloss. I really like this. I see myself wearing it a lot. But again, it is just a gloss. So it's like, unless there's a specific shade that you really want, I think you can pass on the glosses. I think her formula is wonderful. They're very shiny. I don't have any cons to them, but obviously being a luxury line, it's up to you whether or not you want to splurge on the gloss for the specific shade, because I don't necessarily think the formula is anything that's gonna like change your life. But the formula with these will, because these are amazing. So these are the Bitten Lip Tints. Like I said, I originally just purchased one, and then I was like, I need the other two because I really like this shade Amore. So the way I would describe these is for anyone who loves a lip tint but doesn't want like a popsicle bright lip color on your lips. These are very chic, very wearable, very just like chic. Like I feel like when you wear these, you feel like you have your life together, because like they don't look like you're trying too hard. They just look very approachable on the lips. They really give you like just that little bit of tint. They kind of have this really nice, comfortable, like gel latex set down on the lips. So they feel really unique in that sense. And the shades in this are just stunning. I love all three of them. Like if you were to ask me to just pick one, like I like Amore the best, but like I also don't necessarily think I have a favorite of these shades. I like them all. I wear them all. I think they are beautiful. So these will tint your lip. After a couple seconds, you'll start getting that little bit of a tint. And they're not like those bright, obnoxious tints, you know, like I feel like a lot of lip tints now, they're like that bright popsicle cherry, coral, pink, purple. And those look really beautiful on fair-skinned people, but on like a lot of medium skin tones, I just feel like a lot of us always talk about how we don't like those on our lips because it's like really hard to get a shade that's actually flattering. These are for you, and not just medium skin tones. These look amazing on fair skin as well. I'm just saying, like, if you are totally over the bright, punchy lip stains and tints and you want something that you can wear more regularly on a daily basis and you don't have to think too much about what to pair it with, these are for you. I love these. I cannot recommend these to you enough. All right, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I had so much fun filming this. I love this line so much. I think you can tell, like, I'm clearly, like, I'm just oogling over Victoria Beckham beauty, and I am so excited to get to share this with you. If you have any questions about anything I mentioned, please feel free to hit me up in the comments down below. Have you tried anything from Victoria that I haven't mentioned in this video? Let me know. Are her eyeliners worth picking up? I'm really hoping that she comes out with some base coverage this year, like some tinted products for covering the base, because I think that'd be really exciting. But what an exciting line. I haven't been this excited about a makeup line in a really long time, so that's saying a lot. You will be seeing a lot more of these products talked about in future videos and just mentioned because I am such a lover of the line now and will be continually repurchasing Future Lash because I like it that much, and I'm sure the other products as well. So if there are any other newer lines like this or just brands in general that you really want to see a full face on, leave it in the comments down below and I'll do my best to get around to it. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below and I'll get back to you. Please be sure to come follow me on Instagram and on TikTok, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching this. I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone.